All right, we're back on this Tucson that was in an accident, and the air conditioning had several components replaced. As a refresher from the video just prior to this, explaining about the thermal heat, the internal heat exchanger built in, the line was replaced, the expansion valve was replaced. So the body man replaced the expansion valve on the assembly. So those O-rings are new on there. So that's a potential point where a technician could accidentally make a mistake and cause a leak. Another point would be at these two connections right here. These are two new lines, or this line is new. Yeah, this liquid line's new. This old vapor line to the compressor is still old. So this is a potential for a leak, and then connected down on the compressor is another potential for a leak. So I have it under the high pressure nitrogen decay test. And I have this in tightness test mode, as you can see right here. You can see how long I've been running the test for, 5 minutes and 20 seconds. You could see where I started at 164.7 PSI. Well, after 5 minutes, we have not even dropped 1/10 of 1 PSI. So I'm gonna give this a thumbs up on the static high pressure nitrogen decay test. I also could go around with the big blue micro leak detector, which is an excellent source for finding bubbles at all the connections. Then after it runs, since I put UV light in there, I could use the UV light to double check my system. And after it's running, or even before it's running static, while all the metal is cold, you can have leaks that leak when you have a low pressure and a low temperature, but then the leak stops after you turn it on. Or maybe the leak starts after you turn it on the low side, but it won't leak when it's at ambient temperature. You have all these different leak combinations that are temperature sensitive, pressure sensitive, or vibration sensitive. So then you break out your electronic leak detector. This is the Infracon detect status. This is about as best as you could get, especially when it, non-CFC refrigerant leak detectors. And then you have your option method where you use your ultrasonic leak detector. While I'm still under pressure, if I was developing a leak here, I would go back to this and start hunting down looking for leaks using the ultrasonic. So you don't just stop with one type of leak test. Now I can easily not leak test nothing, squirt some refrigerant in this and get out of here really fast and make more money and profit. But these are my customers, and my customers are the ones who own these shops, and their customers do not need to come back as a comeback because I overlooked something just because I want to make more money and get out of here faster. So you go that extra mile, you do everything you possibly can so your customer doesn't have a comeback that makes it look bad on you, and you make sure their system lasts. Don't be one of those other guys. Do it right, do it once, or get the F out of this trade. That's all I gotta say. All right guys, I'll say level up, become better, and make our trade something where customers don't think they're sleazy, slimy guys trying to make money by being cheap and undercutting everybody, cutting corners and destroying customers, whether it's their transmissions, their engines, their suspension systems, their brakes, or their air conditioning or heater and air conditioning or radiator systems by being cheap. All right guys, see ya. Level up. Hey, 1/10 went down. No big deal.